Hi everyone. I promised a behind the scenes look at what I do when I'm not sitting at a desk and working on my own writing, helping other authors with their writing. I brought you outside today to my front yard, and we are obviously out here on a bright, sunny August day. It's a little windy out today, and I wanted to show you what my world looks like out here in the middle of nowhere. It's where I grew up, so I guess I'm a little partial to it because I moved back. This is part of the farm that I grew up on. My parents sold this to us about 20 years ago, actually exactly 20 years ago. That's when we built our house here, when one of our kids was going to be starting kindergarten, and we knew we wanted to move before the school year started. So let me show you around a little bit. So here we are at my weedy front sidewalk. This is one of those ill-conceived ideas that sound great when you're first starting to build a house and you think how lovely it would be to have pavers that look very cottagey, but don't do it. It's very weedy. We're going to replace this with cement that's got some pattern on it. But the reason we're over here is I want to talk to you about what this parcel is named. It's a 10-acre parcel, and it is very, very, very inventively called the 10 acres. When I was a little girl, I used to bike up to this spot when my dad was working in this field. And we would say, where's Dad working? And you might bring, some lemonade or a snack or something. And they'd say, oh, he's at the 10 acres. And then you would know where to go. But it's an interesting thing how different parcels get named different things. But this name stuck even after it wasn't necessarily all farm field anymore and we built our house here. My sister-in-law was very sweet. I'm going to show you something here. It's all hidden by flowers, and I'm going to have to dig it out a little bit or push some of the flowers back. She gave us a really lovely engraved stone that says the 10 acres, but I'm not doing justice to it right now with the amount of flowers that are in front of it. So I need to do some rearranging, I think. So we really love our landscaping here and all of our different flowers. These are hydrangea trees that we put in, gosh, I think it was the second year that we were here. So that would have been like 2001 or 2. But really what's more important are all of the fruits and veggies we've got in. So we've got, let's see, what is it here? 5 apple trees, different kinds. You can see we'll have a pretty good harvest here. We also have 1 mature cherry tree. This is a sour cherry tree, pie cherries, and makes awesome jam too. So I do that some years too. So that's this tree. And then we put 2 little babies in. One is a sweet cherry and one is a sour cherry. So we're kind of babying these along because the deer like to munch on these little baby trees, and we're trying to protect them a little bit. But the reason I walk down this way is I want to show you something. This is our pandemic garden. And we laugh about this a little bit. This had been a spot that we've had a garden in the past, but we decided that we needed to get some better soil and raise beds. And we did, over the course of, I think, 3 weekends, created these raised beds in April and early May, and then put the plants and seeds in. And we actually started seeds indoors. We were very, very hard workers on these plants this summer. And this is what we've got. We've got an enormous garden. We've got peppers and lots of tomatoes. You can see there, green beans. I put in too many zucchini and squash plants, summer squash as one does. I've rescued the giant ones out of here for now. And we also have some lettuces, lots of carrots, beets. The beets are for me. My husband won't eat those. What else do we have? Peas, cucumbers, lots of good things. So I've really appreciated this garden so far this year. Pandemic gardening at its finest. No complaints. So I've told you how this parcel got its name, but I also named my company after where we live, and what you're looking at here in the distance is Lost Lake. So my company is Lost Lake Press. So I wasn't super creative there either, but it is a nice view to have of a smallish lake here in Wisconsin. So I talked a little bit about vegetables and some of our fruits. We also have, you can see a grape arbor over there, and I'm going to have you guys walk with me. Hopefully somehow a little bit of my broadcast news degree will carry over and I won't make anybody too dizzy with rapid camera movements. Over here we have blueberries. Now, they're pretty much done for this season. I mean, it's possible I could get a few more out of here, but we've learned our lesson that you have to put up a framework with a net, or your blueberries are gonna get eaten by the birds. They are very, very fast. I think they must just tell all their friends and neighbors, and they'll be gone in a heartbeat if you do not cover these up with a net. This is not the first generation of systems that we had in place. We had some very different things that were hard to get in and out of that frustrated us, but this is the best system that we've had so far. So PVC connected, tucked into the ground with a bunch of net thrown over the top. So this has worked quite well for us. Up here we have blackberries. Blackberries are just getting started now, so luckily they do not come at the exact same time as the blueberries, or we would have been a little bit tired, I think. The thing with the blueberries is it's such a big crop here. I can pretty much do an entire audiobook while I am picking blueberries. This year I listened to Becoming by former First Lady Michelle Obama, and all 19 hours of it. That's how many hours of blueberry picking that we had to do. Well, here we go. This is what I was looking for. I wanted to give you an extreme close-up of these beautiful blackberries that we have. So one last thing before I head inside with you, I wanted to show you these lilies. I was told they're called mystery lilies. Now, I guess it's because in the spring, the greenery will grow up. The leaves will be shoots that will grow up, and then they die off. So I guess they're called mystery lilies because you kind of forget about them because there's no indication of what's growing where. And then they pop up and they're just this gorgeous, pretty pink color. I had a lot of other lilies that I will have to do a video for you next year that are done. We had the good fortune of picking up some amazing lilies at the Old Brick Botanical Gardens sale a number of years ago. And those lilies are all done now, unfortunately. There's some other pretty ones here, though. I think these are pretty neat. So that was a little tour of our yard, and where I spent an awful lot of hours weeding and picking vegetables and fruit. Next time, I'll bring you inside and you can see where I work.